Hello, my beautiful Capricorns. Just to let you know, I have intuitive readings on my website if you would like to book your own personal reading, as well as if you would like a spiritual coaching session one-on-one with me for transformation. If you have any blockages in your life, if there's certain aspects of your life that you want to focus on, you want to take your life to the next level, you can book that session as well on my website. All right. So, oh my goodness, there's so much going on in the energy for you, and I'm gonna take my time. I feel like you have a lot going on in your mind, and I feel like you have a lot going on in your mind because you could have just had a spiritual awakening. You could have just had like a huge aha moment. A lot of you, if you are like in isolation, some of you could be writers too, because I hear Stoners Club. Some of you guys can do what you do. You got your herbs and you can burn your herbs and you just release. You write it out. You write out everything. I just see somebody writing, honestly. and in writing what you are feeling, which I feel like you could be processing your emotions. Some of you could have adapted to using a journal to process your emotions. You started to realize certain patterns, certain behaviors when it comes to yourself, when it comes to people in your life. And some of you could have felt like a failure, but what you're realizing is that you're not a failure. I hope you realize that you're not a failure. And some of you feel like you were just going through life blind, but you have to understand you awaken in your own time. I feel like when you come to the end of yourself, where you just get so sick and tired of being sick and tired, this is when the awakening happens. This is when judgment comes. This is when the tower comes. This is when isolation comes, and it's giving you a moment to sit down and reflect what's working for me, what's benefiting me, and what's not. So I see also someone like posting post-its. Maybe you have post-its, or maybe you could be using visuals in order to remember or to stay focused. Some of you felt like you could have went back to your old ways. You could have went back to your old ways, or you could have went back to an old person, and being back with that old person could have led you back to some behaviors. You have to understand that with every person that you meet, it's a frequency. It's a frequency, it's a behavior, it's a habit, it's an attachment with certain people. And I feel like going back, I keep feeling like back. When you went back to this person, or you reflecting on the time when you went back, like your life could have spiraled out of control and you could have lost yourself, you know? So this is you being more mindful of being around certain people, being around certain spirits, certain energies, and how does this affect me? Does this throw me off mentally? Does this throw me off emotionally? Does it take me further away from myself? Does it take me further away from like my purpose? Does it take me further away from my finances, or does it draw me closer to the things that I want? And honestly, if this is not your mindset and your focus, I feel like spirit can be trying to open you up to that perspective. What's taking me closer to my destiny? What's taking me closer to the things that I truly desire? And what makes me feel like I'm going backwards, like I'm playing small, like I'm settling? What people am I around that makes me second guess myself and make me feel like I'm not enough, right? So I feel like like opening up your heart. Some of you could be ready to open up your heart. Some of you're ready to finally, you have a book, or you have a project that you have been holding on to for so long, and you are finally ready to give it to the world. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Once you come into the world where you're exposing your gifts to people, that's very vulnerable. And that's why people feel very afraid. You feel afraid when you want to bring something new to the world, because it's a moment of vulnerability. And if you never felt safe being your true authentic self, or being vulnerable, if you were never supported on being who you are, it can make you procrastinate the process because you don't feel safe. What are people going to think of me? So this is it. Like, you could have been surrounded by people who never truly supported you and could have took from you or only hurt you. Some even tried to curse you. And let me just explain this. Words is powerful. Words is powerful. This is exactly why people say you have to affirm your worth. You have to look in the mirror, because words is so powerful. And imagine being around a person who constantly using words to tear you down. It manifests in like low self-worth, and it manifests with self-esteem issues. And I feel like, I don't know, like you're taking off the glasses, you're removing a layer to yourself. I feel like you're finally getting back in touch with yourself and the things that you truly love. But I feel like what spun you off was going into the wrong direction, or going back to the, I even hear friends. You could have even went back to friends. You could have even had friends who had like substance abuse problems, and every time you're around those friends, you start to grip back onto those habits. So I see a new watch. Some of you guys could be treating yourself. You could feel like, you know, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I don't know why, but it could be you trying to come up with memes to, like, you want to clean up your image. You want to get back somebody, like, even like healthy. You want to get back fit. You want to get back to the bigger picture. You could have lost yourself for a little while. Oh, wait. You can also, like, if this is like a love situation that you could have been with someone and they could have like made you lose a sense of yourself. Sometimes it's not even about falling in love with the wrong person. It's like, when falling in love with the wrong person, if it causes you to lose yourself, that's what most people are angry about. This is where it says like soul forgiveness, or needing to forgive yourself, forgiving yourself for losing yourself, for giving your power away. But you feel on edge. You feel on edge, or you could feel really like lots of anxiety. You could, I feel like you had some real strong revelations, epiphanies that are scaring you. Like, I think you are seeing a situation come to light, and you are seeing it for exactly what it is. And I feel like it took a separation moment. It took you to go into separation. It took like a breakup or like an upheaval in order for you to truly see or pinpoint what caused you to get caught up in this situation the way you did. And it could have took you some time. Let me see. I even hear like somebody saying, like, you mean to tell me all this time they were lying to me? You know, like maybe you could have been trying to protect someone. Or you could have like been sugarcoating the truth to someone. You didn't want to see this person for who they truly was. You could have been going back and forth with yourself. You didn't really want to believe it. You know, and now you're finally seeing the truth of a person or people. It could be, you know, it could be anybody. Like, see where the story fits for you. Because sometimes we, you know, love is an energy. You can love a family member. You can love a friend. Yeah, soul forgiveness. What's in you needing to forgive yourself, forgiving yourself for not knowing any better, forgiving yourself for ignoring the red flags, forgiving yourself for thinking someone had your best interest at heart. Just forgiving yourself for making the wrong choice, for choosing the wrong people, for going in the wrong direction of your life. Like, you just needing to forgive yourself, you know? You could have even been trying to like help the wrong people. But I want to break that down really fast. You can forgive yourself for helping someone who took your help for granted. You can forgive that part of yourself, because you helping someone, that shows who you are, right? It shows that you have a big heart and you love to help. You should never be upset for helping the wrong person. Because helping is the action. That's the action that you took. That means it shows your character. It means you have a great character. You like to help people. That's on you. Baby, if they done messed up the bag, if they done fumbled the bag with you, then it's literally their loss, is what I'm trying to say. you didn't do anything wrong. Like as humans, we come here and we're supposed to serve and help and love each other. What someone else does with your love, what someone else does with your support is actually a true reflection of who they are and not you. So this is why you shouldn't beat up yourself. You're a good person. You just weren't aware that this person's intentions weren't as pure as yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another way to look at it. Because you're gonna help again. If it's in your heart to help, you can't even help yourself. And that's what it is. It's not about I was too good of a person or I helped the wrong people. No, you're going to help again. Well, you're just going to help the right people this time. People who will take your help and make good use of it. Not use you, but make good use of the help and like appreciate you. Because I hear like some of you guys can just feel violated, but I don't know why like this is so big now. This could have been going on. Like, I feel like this been going on, but for some reason now you're seeing it clear as day. Now it's so big, it's so loud that you can't even, you know how sometimes like the denial card will come up. You can't even deny it anymore. You know, you could have even been trying to like have excuses for this person. Like, no, it's just because I know that such and such came from this type of home or this type of background, and they don't really mean it. You could have even been taken up for this person the whole time. It's like, call it for what it is, you know? Like, you needing to accept the fact that this person is not what you thought, and that hurts. That's like, ouch. So you needing to forgive yourself, all right? Let me see. The biggest obstacle and block for you. Yeah, taking off your mask. This is the block. You needing to take off your mask. And I'm curious of what part of you and your personality are you hiding from your own self? Let me see. The block is just you being able to step into your power, to own your power. You struggle to be in your power. You struggle to believe that you're a powerful person. You could be struggling with confidence. Like, you could be struggling with your confidence, and maybe because you struggle with your confidence, like, you people please, you overextend, you give more than you should to people. And it's a way of you trying to feel worthy. It's a way of you trying to get the person's validation, whether you realize it or not. Like, your overgiving could be, like, people could be taking advantage of it because they see that you give, and you forgive. So now you feel taken advantage of. You feel like, oh, they trying to play me. Oh, I can't believe this. And the mask for you is like needing to give up on the idea of people pleasing. Maybe if I overgive, then I can gain the approval. I can gain their love. You know, like I even hear distancing. You distancing yourself. Somebody could have even been like gaslighting you. There could have been like gaslighting. There could have been like excuses. And because you love the person so much, because you weren't in a place where you were truly ready to see the truth of them or yourself, you could have been holding on to the idea of them. So holding on to the idea of them, holding on to the expectation in which you hope they would be versus what they truly are. And this person could even use the word love. They could have used the word love to keep you held in, you know, like, well, I love you. So like making the bare minimum, but not really giving you what you are deserving of. Yeah. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this. I don't even like to say this anymore, but attracting a narcissist, having too many narcissists around you, having too many people who have a lack of balance in their world, and they struggle with boundaries, and they struggle with structure, and they struggle. You know, they can have addictions, they can have spending addiction, money addictions, and sexual addictions. You know, for some, even like con artists, they're really good at wearing a mask. So they have a mask. Their mask is faking who they are in order to get what they need. So they lie to get their needs met. And why? Because they don't feel enough. So you overgive because you don't feel enough, and they lie because they don't feel enough. If I showed the world who I truly was, nobody would really want me. And you're like, if I don't give, then nobody will want me. And this was the issue. A taker and a giver. Let me see. So Spirit is saying, like, what must be released? Wounded healer. These are your wounds. You know? And the wound could be like, if you felt cast out, if you felt rejected, which honestly, I feel rejection is just divine protection. I feel like rejection is actually a detour. You know, it's like rejection is like this. You moving through life, and if you feel like you're rejected by somebody, it just means, and in the spiritual sense, they weren't a match for you, right? They weren't a match. It's like you coming to a door in your life and you hit a stumbling block. Every time you try to go towards the person, bad things happen. Every time you try to help this person, bad things happen. And there's like a block. There's a block. There's a block. There's a block because this door is not for you. It just means that a giver shouldn't be with someone who just takes, because eventually it's going to cause resentment. And then all of a sudden it's going to cause separations and downfalls and you feeling how you feel right now. But I think you're in a place where you're seeing it for what it is. And sometimes it could have took you a long time to get there. Like you knew, maybe you couldn't accept it. Maybe you knew that, but you wanted to convince yourself differently. Like, no, like you just refuse to believe that this is who they are. You're just waiting for them to show up different. And unfortunately, Spirit wants you to like clear these wounds. Like the blockage is like somebody gaslighting, playing mind games, like you needing to be back in alignment with your own power. Don't give your power away. Like I just even heard base chakra. Base chakra just means like you need to heal. That's the red chakra. The base is where your foot is. You need to be more in the ground. Be in the ground and firm. Stand firm on who you are. Stand firm on your values. Stand firm on what you believe and what you deserve, right? Because we can all say that, oh, I'm deserving of this, but then if you settle for something less than what you're settling for is what you truly feel worthy of. What you stand your ground on is truly a reflection of your values and your core beliefs, and you won't settle for nothing less than that, you know? So I even hear like you've hit rock bottom before and you're going to bounce back up. I feel like you are about to step in your power. I think you feel like you've made a mistake and you want to make it right with you. Like this time, Capricorn, and this is just you just facing your own self. You saying it to yourself, like this time I'm doing it for me. It's not going to be about trying to please other people, because no matter what I do or how much I try to show up for people, if they're ungrateful, they're just going to be ungrateful anyway. So I just need to make a stand for myself that I'm going to do it for me, because trying to do it for Timothy, or trying to do it for John, or trying to do it for Melanie, it's not really working. It's not. So why not just do it for me? You know, I knew it. Like attracting in, you know, obsessive type personalities, people who latch on to your energy. Some of you guys can be empaths and not even know it, right? So if you're an empath and you have a lot of light, you have a lot of love, a person who is wounded, and doesn't know how to love is going to take your love, but then you're not going to get anything back. And you finally seeing these red flags, your soul finally waking up and seeing so clear as day that you can't even go back and forth with yourself anymore. Some of you, I just heard like, I'm gonna take myself off the dating market. You know, you could take yourself off the dating market for a little while for you to get clear back on who you are and trying to reinvent yourself so that you won't keep making this mistake again and again and again and again. Some of you even saying like, yo, I need to move. You could be blaming it on the town, like everybody around here is just a joke. You know, you could I just feel like you want a fresh start. You just want to start all over again. And what support What support? Seasons. Is this a season that you're going through, which is good? Yeah, the highest priest. So what support should you lean on? There's changes coming. Like, lean on your spirituality, lean on your intuition. I feel like your gut could have been telling you one thing, but you could be a visual. Like, I need to see it to believe it. I feel it, but I need to make sure I'm right. You know, some people, when they're just developing into their spirituality and they're just getting these nudges, these intuition, like, you don't really know what it is, you know. Like, I'll never forget when I started to wake up, and I used to get such high anxiety around people, and I didn't know why. I'm thinking it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm scared or shy or something. Why do I have such high anxiety around certain people? Not realizing that I get high anxiety around low frequency people, you know, and it makes me feel like jittery and like I just need to get out of Dodge. Like, I got to get out of here. It just means that I'm laughing because I'm like, I go through this, man. Like one thing about this spiritual journey, and as you evolve, your body becomes very sensitive. So people, they won't even understand you no more, because they don't understand, like, why you moving different. You moving different because now that you're on this spiritual journey and you're awakening to your third eye, you have, let me tell you, your body becomes like a gadget where shit is just nudging you, and you start to feel tight in your shoulders. Sometimes you even feel like your throat cutting off, and you're like, wait, what does this all mean? What signs? And it's like, literally, your guides, now that you're connected with a higher power, a higher force, it's like now you have this new insight and this new way of being able to detect liars, people who's faking it. You can see everything once you start to tap in. You know what I'm saying? And before you understand it, you're going to go against it because you don't really know yet. You're still trying to figure your body out. You're still trying to figure out, well, what does this mean? You know, so you might even find yourself becoming like, you know, some of you guys, if you were clean before, you might even become extra clean, like a neat freak, because even just having like a disorganized environment will make you feel out of place. It's you're that sensitive to energies. It's really that real, you know. Or a situation where if you notice in certain environments, you notice like you have to smoke or you have to drink to like numb off your intuition so that it won't so you don't have things popping off every 5 seconds. Yikes. So it's a blessing, but it's like once you come into this journey and you start to like deepen your spirituality and you start to become awake, you can't run from the light that comes from you. They're going to show you things. You're going to become more like in tune to people and their behaviors, and you're going to just start to see everything. You're going to see people's darknesses. You're going to see people's light. You're going to know who really don't like you like that. You're going to see it all, even if you don't want to. And that's the price to pay of being like awakening your third eye, of being an empath. That's just the world that you step into, but it's to help you, right? So now you have to follow this. Now this new feeling, you have to follow it. And what makes me feel good? What makes me feel comforted? And I literally live by that law now. Like, what feels safe? What makes me feel good? What comforts me, and what makes me feel out of whack? Because it's just showing you, if you want to come into a place of wholeness, if you want to come into a place of peace, if you want to come into a place of love, you now have your body is now like a gauge for it. You know, you know where people are within themselves. So it's just you trusting it. All right. And what's the middle part? What steps do you need to take next? Follow the pleasure. Follow what you love. I hear bouncing back. You about to bounce back so quick. And that's another thing too. Like, you know, Capricorn, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. I just see you bouncing back. I feel like once you like, oh, okay, I see what this is. Like, once you get the reassurance and the validation that, okay, so Steve is just a manipulator. you know that that door is closed to Steve. You know it. Like, once you know what you know, you're good, and you don't need nothing more. And you have to be honest with yourself about that, Capricorn. You might be like, you know, you might even like a lot of those documentary or those what is the show called? And I'm seeing it, like mystery channels. When you're trying to solve mysteries, like, maybe that's just who you are. You like to solve mysteries. You like to crack cases. You like to get down to the bottom of it. You could be in the TV right now with a bowl of cereal watching one of those shows, and you know, you can be into Lifetime a lot. You can like a lot of like mystery solving shows because you like to find out what's really going on. And this could be a part of who you are. And and so that's probably why you might get people who are mysterious, because for you in this lifetime, it's like getting down to the bottom of it. Like, some of you guys could be a good detective if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. But yeah, whoever this person is, they are waiting for you, and they see that you've been distant, but they feel like it ain't over yet. It ain't over. But some of you feel like your clock is ticking, like, I'm too old for this shit. I'm really too old, and I've been too stagnant for too long. But in finding out your spirit, in finding out the revelation, right? Because what's in dark, it has to come to light. It's just the way it is. Be compassionate with yourself. Be compassionate to what you find out, because if you felt betrayed, you can feel as well like you betrayed yourself. And this is why it's like, I haven't heard like a pathological liar. Like, somebody's just a liar. They're just a freaking liar. And just be careful. Be careful of internalizing it, that you didn't know sooner that, you know, the truth is Rebecca just been a liar all this time. Like, forgive yourself for not knowing that Rebecca lied. She covered it up good. Let's be honest. Rebecca, she lied. You didn't know. So it's like, for soul forgiveness, forgiving yourself and seeing what comes next. Because that's what I'm about to do on the other side. I'm going to see what comes next for you. Because I even hear like, oh, I got to get myself out this friggin' cycle. Even some of you are starting to realize it, like cycles, and you're starting to treat life like that. Like, what challenge is in front of me and how can I solve it? Because y'all like to solve stuff. Let's just, you know, another unsolved mystery that you got to solve. I send you so much love and light.